Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. First of all, I will thank all those people who liked my previous videos and subscribed to my channel. If you have not subscribed as of yet, you can just go down and click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified of my latest videos. So for today's video, my topic is the top 5 political satire films of all time. Without further ado, let's start the list. Number 1 on my list is The Great Dictator. One of the first films which pops into your mind when you think of the word political satire. The Great Dictator is Charlie Chaplin's masterpiece. It is sort of a satirization of the Second World War, and it stars Chaplin as a parody of Adolf Hitler. The film is amazing because it was one of Chaplin's earliest films which had hilarious comedy and some really serious moments balanced at the same time. Some of his other films were completely funny or completely serious. This film sort of balanced the two in an amazing way. And also Charlie Chaplin's famous speech towards the end of the film is one of the most iconic moments in the history of Hollywood. Number 2 on my list is Dr. Strangelove, or How I Loved, I get confused about the name all the time. It's Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Directed by one of my favorite Hollywood filmmakers, Stanley Kubrick. This film, as you have already guessed from the name, is one of the craziest films ever made. But crazy doesn't mean it's not in a bad way, it's in a good way, in a really good way. Dr. Strangelove is one of the best films I have ever seen. The film is like The Great Dictator was a satirization of the Second World War. This is a satirization of the Cold War. And it stars the great Peter Sellers, not in a single role or double role, but in a triple role as 3 different characters, each completely different from the other. And he just completely steals the show. This is one of those few films which shows Peter Sellers' true range as an actor and not just a comedian. The film is amazing and it has one of the darkly funniest movie endings of all time. Number 3 on my list is The Rules of the Game. Directed by Jean Renoir, this French film tells the story of sort of a gathering of members of the elite French society just a few days before the Second World War. And it sort of shows how the rich people during that time at France were completely oblivious to the war or the political atmosphere of the country at that time. It is a sharp satire and it's one of the best foreign films I've ever seen. Like, if you ever want to start watching world cinema, I think this is one of the best movies to start with. Number 4 on my list is The Big Lebowski. Directed by one of my favorite filmmakers, the Coen brothers. The Big Lebowski tells the story of a man named Jeffrey Lebowski who prefers to be called the Dude, and he is mistaken for a millionaire who shares the same name, and his carpet somehow in this entire mess ends up getting urinated on. And so now you might be thinking that how is this possibly a political satire? But this entire story is actually a very deep film, and it's an entire satirization on American society. The 3 lead characters represent 3 different types of people in America at that point of time during the 90s, including the leftists, the right-wing people, and of course the people who did not care about politics and nobody listened to them. The movie is amazing from start to finish and is, in my opinion, one of the most rewatchable films I have ever seen. Finally, number 5 on my list is Weekend. Directed by Jean-Luc Godard, one of my favorite French filmmakers. This film tells the story of a couple who tried to murder their relative so that they could get their money. And initially, the things take a turn, and this leads to several other murders and some cannibalism. I won't spoil the entire movie for you. It's one of the most unique films I've ever seen, and I think the sharp political satire makes it even better. And also the movie has one of my favorite scenes ever in film history, and that's the traffic jam sequence. It shows a long, almost 5-minute long traffic sequence where we see different sorts of characters stuck in the traffic signal, ranging from a father playing volleyball with his son to a lion trapped inside a cage behind a circus truck. It's amazing. Like Jean-Luc Godard's movies are so experimental that you'll get shocked watching his movies. Anyways guys, that was the video. Thanks for watching. If you like my channel, please like, share and subscribe. You can also write down your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you, bye bye, and I'll meet you next week.